upon a time, a man met a woman, and the woman and the man made love. A child was born, and the angels sang up there in the heavens above. Well, the boy grew tall through political halls, and the time has come. It's true! He's the next Prime Minister of Canada, and there really ain't nothing you can do. 'Cause he's adorable, he's cute as a button. He seems kinda normal, and the girls all love him. Got her all wrapped up, he's getting a nod. Come on and have a drink of wine with Uncle Bob.
Mr. Trudeau is a strong believer in the United Canada. He always has been, he always will be.
Soon everybody will be singing along to the Justin Trudeau song.
Built over decades reflected not in the policies of this government, but in the values that this government's putting forward. This country is a country of openness, of respect, of compassion, of the rule of law, of the rights of the individuals, of freedom.
We are only at the beginning of our rightful place in world commerce. Nothing but doubt and pessimism can keep back a vast advance in the trading position of our land.
Our present uncertainty is not helping the country. It is drawing strength required elsewhere, jeopardizing our economic progress, and eating away at the world community's much-needed confidence in Canada. Through this renewal will come the other changes, economic, social, and cultural, to which we are entitled.
Are markets getting bigger? Yes. Are they becoming coordinated? Yes. Are they coming together? Yes. Is the world globalizing? Yes.
In this agreement, not only will it be about goods and services, we want an agreement that will allow us to have a partnership in the areas of university education, research, the environment, and culture. This, from our perspective, represents what globalization is about.
The interdependence of nations across the broad spectrum of issues, climate change, poverty, banking system, whatever you want, means that good global governance requires a global steering committee.
Let's be clear. Our plan to reduce the deficit does not depend on some program of cuts. We've laid it out in the budget. It's very clear. The International Monetary Fund says it is a credible and realistic plan to reach balance.
Now, with that as a background, sovereign debt, growth, social instability, what can the IMF do? Well, point number one, the fund, about 3 years ago, was a fading out institution. One that was not particularly necessary or helpful, one that had financial difficulties. And then came the crisis. And the good news from the fund perspective, it's not fair to say that, is that the fund will continue to be in business because the fund is actually relevant when there are crises. And clearly, we're not short of that at the moment. So the fund is clearly and has been back in business. The previous managing director, Dominique Strauss-Kahn, did a very good job at resetting the IMF as a credible partner, as a source of intellectual caliber of the highest level.
It's a beginning of global governance. It was easier, as I say, because of the crisis. And if something has been understood by the layman during this crisis, is that globalization is no more only a topic for lectures and conferences. That's a reality. We need this. And I think everybody had clearly understood that now it's impossible to find a domestic solution to global problems. We're entering now the second phase of this attempt to build some global governance.
Ich habe deshalb es abgelehnt, jemals vor dieses Volk hinzutreten und billige Versprechungen zu geben.
And that is, to make globalization work, the leaders are going to have to be able to rise above the political comfort of narrow nationalism.
There isn't really a Canadian economy anymore. It is a global economy. And yes, the Canadian economy, so to speak, is doing better than many other countries.
but the general trajectory of the Canadian economy, whether we're on the down or downhill as we were last year, or whether we're on the rebound as we are this year, is fundamentally determined by the state of the global economy. And that's what these meetings are all about, and that's why they are so critical. That's why it's so critical that we participate and play a major role, because Canadian jobs and Canadian futures are intimately linked to what goes on here. And quite frankly, everything that we do in our country to improve our country's position is ultimately to improve that position within the context of a global economy. And we cannot be effective at major economic matters any longer unless we work with our other economic partners around the world and work with them closely and intimately. That is essential. I know some people don't like it. It's a loss of national sovereignty, but it is a simple reality. It is a simple reality that we are in a global economy. The global economy is determining where we're headed and will determine our future, and we have to play our part in these forums to make sure that our interests are protected and advanced.
This country is a country of openness, of respect, of compassion, of the rule of law, of the rights of the individuals, of freedom.
Quand il me prend dans ses bras, qu'il me parle tout bas, je vois l'alliance.